Today is the final part in the modding toxicity video set. The aim today to talk about more stuff, more statements from various mod developers who didn't get a chance in the last video. In this video we have statements from Primordial Tyrants devs, as well as an audio statement from Clayton, who makes the cursed mods, and some other statements too. So let's talk about it. With my last video, I was aiming to include a statement from Kelskora about toxicity within the community and the modding scene, but due to time restraints I wasn't able to, and that didn't come to fruition. However, they did leave a comment on my original video, which is for everyone to see, and I'm going to go over it here because it is quite weighted, and they also sent an additional statement which will be for this video, and also some comments to showcase as well. Their YouTube comment read like this. A lot of what was spoken about in the video, I myself related to a lot. Primordial Tyrants has experienced a lot of what the other modders have mentioned here, with a lot of similar comments made to us as well, combined with the fact that we get hate simply because of the fact some of our fans put down others to prop us up, and I hate it. No one should ever pit mod teams against one another. It doesn't do either side any good, and it doesn't feel good when it's done to me, and last thing I want is for my work to be the reason someone else feels like shit. Nort and I have received so many hateful comments saying how PT can't balance, this or that is slop, or our models looking like leather purses. I don't even like posting whips anymore because the concept of something being a work in progress is lost on people. I often feel uncomfortable saying or doing anything because it's cool to hate on us for some people. I'm often led to feel like I am wrong to feel a certain way, and no matter how hard I try, it's always still slop. The comments over the years, and even seeing people I once trusted feed into it, had even accumulated to the point where I had that was essentially a mental breakdown. Shut down completely and seriously considered quitting. I hope that calling this out helps, but modders also need to stand together. Now, of course, I did cut off a little bit there, but there is a bigger statement that I was sent from Kelskora. This one is huge, as in it really shows how they feel about this. And you have to bear in mind, Kelskora and Primordial Tyrants, they're one of the first mods for this game. If you go on the crowdfunding page for the game, this was in the game's crowdfunding saying that Primordial Tyrants will be in the game. And it's obviously sad that a mod team that's so OG as that is one of the devs is thinking of quitting because of the toxicity in this game. It's really bad. But this is what was said in the statement I was sent. It gets to a point where it's extremely tiring and has you questioning everything you do. I don't mind actual constructed criticism, and people are allowed to have their own opinions and voice them, but I see too often it diving into blind hate and toxic behaviours. It hurts to see, and it's demoralising. I didn't ask to be placed on some arbitrary pedestal and get hundreds of hateful comments as a result. We are just human as everyone else. It gets tiring to get hundreds of comments about how we can't balance. Hitboxes are shit, kits are bland, models look smooth, boring, or bland. Again, not as criticism, not as feedback, but just hate, to be hateful and admitting as such. Comments like, I'm glad we can come together to hate Primordial Tyrants. Oh, I see we're dunking on Primordial Tyrants today. Hell yeah. Nort and I have poured our blood, sweat, and tears into this work. These past years have been full of incredible highs and crushing lows. Sleepless nights and tears shed under the sheer amount of pressure presented by people in the community, from modding and server-side drama. I've been pushed as far as attempting to leave every modding Discord I was in and hand off ownership to Nort, while I stayed on an alt account for nearly a week because of the toll on my mental health that this has taken. It goes to show that everybody faces this in the modding community, and the comments Kelskora provided confide to this even further. People mindlessly bashing on the mods, not even constructive, just hateful. They're not even going out of their way to say, I don't like this, it could be better this way, this is how I could improve it. No, it's just like, I hate these mods. I'm glad we all hate these mods. They're shit. What's worse is people making baseless allegations, calling for PT to be locked up because they're racists and predators, but when asked about it, their defense is that they're biased towards some of their own mods. How does that support your claims? It does not. And you shouldn't be making false allegations like that on the internet. It's a shame. And the sheer amount of it, it's become normal in this community. I covered it in the last video. A lot of you guys agree how normal this has become. And I'm so glad that the comments weren't as bad as what I thought. There were bad comments on that video. There were horrible people telling the devs of these mods to suck it up. But if you spent hours working on projects, hundreds of hours, just to be baselessly accused of stuff and mindlessly bashed by hundreds of people, you would not want to continue what you're doing. You'd want to leave and go do something else. It's not about thick skin. It's about being nice. You could still provide criticism by being constructive. Also, this comment comparing Primordial Tyrants to British colonizers is insane, because how the fuck is a dinosaur mod comparing to the brutalization that the British done via colonialization? Some of you need to think about what the fuck you're saying. It's insane. It's absolutely mind-boggling. Another thing I want to talk about quickly is comments that I've seen that get cropped up every now and then to do with Primordial Tyrants and were forwarded to me by Kelskora. These are mainly to do with accusations, for example, that the Primordial Tyrants team were hacking into the Isle's code, or, well, one of the developers, which would have been Kels, because they worked on the Isle at the time, and they're the Primordial Tyrant skins mod. Now, I do want to quickly put this one to bed, because I did speak to Kelskora about it and got their side of things. And it's important because, one, when they first started, they were modding the Isle because they enjoyed the game, like when modders come here and start modding here. Another thing is that it killed a lot of enjoyment that they had for making stylized dinosaurs, because they'd especially get those claims. Additionally to this, it's interesting how people come to these conclusions, especially because when in the modding days, Kels was never told to stop when they were making their hypo mods, like the Feroxus. They weren't even approached about it. However, they were banned from the Discord in the Isle for standing up against Dondi, who took a screenshot of Bisa Bermuda out of context to make Bisa Bermuda look bad. The dev kit was taken down because the guy who was working on the dev kit was fired from the game as well. So no, the reason why the mod dev kit and stuff was taken down wasn't because of Kels, and Kels wasn't code breaking. It's a misconception, probably fielded by people who've just echo chambered a bunch of lies. And if there was code breaking going on, or suspected, why didn't they go to Kels first to talk to them about it and ask them what actually are they doing? Now, the next one is an anonymous statement. The next two are anonymous statements from mod developers. This first one is from a skin designer who says, "From my perspective, people in the community have often expressed high entitlement to free mod work. The quality of mods is absolutely high priority to people, showing desire for official quality content, and anything that doesn't meet that is ridiculed. People either do not know, don't see, or don't care that sometimes skins can come from skinners who have just been able to break through into the modding scene, with this being some of their first works, or the concepts are made by people who don't have experience making concepts, or often are children. We do the skins from anyone, no matter the skill level. Community members don't see they're ridiculing a child's work most of the time. It's already so hard for someone to break into modding at all. They immediately face comments unless they can upskill fast, which is almost not possible." Now, the next comment comes from another mod developer. This one is also going to be anonymous. They said they have multiple sides of things, you know, amazing folks, which is great, but also hate for no reason. They added that skins were the first ever hate they received, and they have examples of this. The modder mentions when they first started their skins, they weren't amazing, but everyone starts somewhere. They still shared their stuff, however they received some unwelcoming insults for both their stuff and to them in general. Aside from that, the hate then was redirected to creature designs, but the skin designs as well got the thick of it. Adding to that, on the 18th of November this year, 3 days before my first video, and after the announcement from Dr. the 11th, they got a DM that said this: "Fuck you and your shitty ass mods. They aren't even mods. They're just bad models that look like a child vomited paint on them. I hope you never get the kit and ruin this game more than it already is with those other horribilidous mods. And I hope you slice your neck open." By the way, I said horribilidous because that's how they spell it. Because this person clearly needs to go to school. Did they just miss, like, surface level English? I'm going to be honest here. If you're going to hate on someone, at least spell. But also, fuck off. That's my very honest statement, because I'm fed up. I'm actually fed up. Why? Why is this so much? And there's more. There's more as well. There's someone in the actual Path of Time Discord who was saying that their skins look like shit, look like a spray can paint job, calling them a bitch because they couldn't take criticism when it wasn't even constructive. And they said, I don't care about Discord. I have more accounts. I'll keep coming back, bitch. What is wrong in your life where you get happy from being an absolute twat on the internet? That's what I want to know. What is the actual point? Are you just so sad that all you do is just hate people who are trying to make a name for themselves and make designs and stuff that people can enjoy for free? There's many things wrong in this world, but people like that who are entitled and just knobheads, oh, I hate them so much, and it pisses me off. And I know someone else who also agrees, and it's Clayton, because we have a very fiery statement from him, and we're going to roll it right now. We're transitioning to this because this has really pissed me off. Okay, this is the last video I'm doing on this, because holy shit, why is it so bad? Why? I genuinely am bewildered. So now, Clayton, you could take it away. He's also going to showcase a little bit from the Cursed Rex mod, which looks absolutely awesome. It's the Cursed Rex Supreme, something like that. It's like the Super Rex. And anyways, take the stage.
Hello. I hope you guys are having a good day or night. Shout out to Brother Doc from Divine Beasts for, speaking out, making it a bit of a topic for everybody. I appreciate you, brother. Shout out to all the other mod teams, I love all y'all. Y'all are chill. Yeah, I just have a couple things I want to go over, want to go through. A couple points I want to make real quick. No, nothing too fresh, nothing too new. Everything was covered. Alright, modders are not employees of Alderon. There are extreme cases where a modder pumping out good work may get recruited onto the team of Alderon, but there are no mods being made on company time. Alderon does not make these mods. I see people in every mod showcase video acting as if the mod took time from the main game's development in some wild way. We modders are not Alderon, and Alderon is not us modders. Alderon is not a two-man team. Saying things like you're making this dumb mod instead of working on a micro-raptor doesn't just make you look uninformed, it makes you look like you're throwing a tantrum. Server owners should be balancing mods to fit their intended server vibe. This is why most of us add curves to override, and keep in mind this does not imply that a server owner is being expected to fix anything. For that to be true, the mod would need to be broken. Stats you don't agree with does not mean something is broken, it means you don't like how it was balanced. And again, servers have the power to balance things to their own liking. If you are playing a mod on a server and it feels overpowered to you, that server owner has the ability to change that for you if they so please. This would be taking the extra step to make sure their community member is happy. To expect a modder to balance around one community's expectations over another is not only inconsiderate, it is inefficient. Instead, what we can do as modders is add those curves I mentioned before released, so server owners after can make any changes needed for balancing purposes in their own communities. Again, you are balancing these mods for your communities, for your server communities. You need to balance the playables you put into your server. If you're not going to, you don't have to, but if you're expecting balance to fit your server and your community members, you have to make those changes. That is expected of you, and that's why it's able to be done. If you want raw base stat mods, you can do that. There are servers that are successfully doing that, like Echo Dark. They have no stat changes, no curve overrides. They just have all the mods slapped in there. They have a full-blown community with a bunch of people that come every day. They're happy. You know what I'm saying? What are the pop mod stat and balance regulations? There are none. We can quite literally do as we please. Again, your server owners are all provided curves to change if they choose. Some mods may not have them set up right, but that is now up to your server owner to choose whether or not to keep that mod in the first place. The mod creator has no hand in this part of the process. The part of the process where the mod goes into your server and plays how you wanted it to play, we are not involved in that. That is on you. If there are bugs, of course, report them. But a bug is not misbalanced. Like it's that's not a bug. That's an opinion. You know what I'm saying? All right, moving on to the next one. Mods are free, and 9 out of 10 times are passion projects that are not made for anyone other than the mod owner themselves. Does this mean you can't trash it? Of course not. This is a world where you could say as you please and act as nasty and as childish as you want. Go crazy. We, however, have every right to report you, ban you from our mods, shun you, and talk crap back, as we are. Should you require a thick skin to mod games? No, that is ridiculous. You can be as sensitive as you want, just be aware there are people that thrive on being miserable and loud. Misery loves company and it will drag you in. If you want to be a producer of any kind, my advice would be to learn to ignore people and make your art for you and no one else. 100% of the loudmouth haters are weak, scared individuals in person and need these safe spaces to finally feel tough and alive. I am sorry to all the past, present, and future modders of this game and any other games. Our fellow man has become much too loose-lipped, and that is not on you. With that being said, I wish all of you a beautiful and blessed day or night.